So now you can take the floor.
Thank you so much for that information. Please send that to me. I'll make sure to get that. I will sit down with the Congressman and show him that PowerPoint slide. Thank you so much for providing that. I think it's very important to be able to understand that before we can actually start to address the real issues at hand. He's actually the third youngest, so he's not the youngest, but he is up there. If any of you, I'll do my best to answer all of the questions that you have today. There's obviously some things that the Congressman wants to address himself. So if there's any comments that you have, I can certainly bring them to them. I can give you my card and we can get that to you directly. I know I have all those questions to you, and we're making sure that we work on getting the Congressman to voice his opinion on those issues. He has yet to address those opinions first. I mean, obviously, we're in the first 100 years of his administration, so we're trying to figure out what his positions are on certain things, but I'll certainly do my best to answer any of the questions that you have. I saw a hand back there.
Thank you, Mr. Arteaga.
Yes, thank you.
For coming to meet with us. As you can see, I think that Taiwanese American community, we are diverse, and everyone is trying to seek out a way to protect Taiwan's newly founded democracy and freedom, and stay away from China. I think that's our goal, but different people have different approaches. As you can see, John has tried very hard in his theory and many practices. I have two questions. The first one is also with a strong concern is Taiwan stay in the course of democracy and retain universal rights of human rights and democracy. So what I have observed in the last couple of years, especially during Taiwan's presidential elections, the U.S. had certain gestures, kind of like portraying preference of KMT candidates. And I know you may not have the answer now, but I hope you will have answer for us. And I'm hoping that we can see more unbiased towards Taiwan's election. If you want to call Taiwan a democracy, it should not be interfered by foreign force, and especially we know a lot of forces coming from China. Money-wise, politically, and diplomatically, everywhere. Anyway, it's interfering with Taiwan's life, Taiwanese life. So I think I would like to see this, that in the future, any election in Taiwan can be no interference, not just from the U.S., but also how the U.S. can help Taiwan stay away from the influences of China. So that's the first one. Second question.
Can I address that really quickly? Just really quickly. I think that definitely our foreign policy, U.S. foreign policy, has definitely affected nations all around the world. And I can speak by personal experience that my parents are from El Salvador, Central America, and I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but Central America, El Salvador specifically, was hit very hard during the time of the Red Scare from the U.S. And we had a very similar experience with Taiwan in the sense that the government was supporting at first the government, and then they were supporting the guerrillas, and then they were supporting the government again. So it's very personal on a personal level. I definitely understand. I obviously can't experience what the Taiwanese community experienced, but personally, from my parents and hearing their stories about why they had to come to this country as immigrants to basically leave everything that they had behind, their home, their culture, their language, their family, to come to this country for a better life for me, my brothers, my siblings, the youngest of six. So I definitely understand the impact that our foreign policy has, and even today. If you look at Iraq, Afghanistan, and what will happen when the government leaves, obviously Afghanistan, what that will look like. So I think that that's definitely a concern that we have with our foreign policy and how we can make sure that our foreign policy doesn't continue to affect the nation in general. So I just wanted to let you know that I definitely I have that personal experience about being able to see that we were affected in that way as well. And I think that that's another thing about all of our communities, and not just in the 15th congressional district, but it's so diverse in that we all have different experiences, that we've been affected by our policies, and we're trying to make sure that, at least in Congressman Swalwell's office, that we make sure that we either rectify them, or we make sure that we are doing certain things that we can do in policy with our legislation that don't do that.
Thank you for sharing your experience with us. I forgot to mention State Department. I think if Congressman Swalwell can do something, or kind of re-examine what the State Department's policy in the, I think this is like Eastern Asia policy, their practice. And I understand that several years there always, we already try to get, the money out of a State Department to subsidize certain measures to help the Chinese policy. That was one, I think that was a couple of years ago, but it's already passed. So what we want to see is focusing on now what other State Departments policy in the southeastern part of Asia and the Western Pacific. It's very important because with China being financially, economically getting so powerful, their reach is way beyond what Taiwan can sustain the survival. So that's something we really concerned about. Then secondly, it's just like to hear from you what kind of committees is the Congressman involved in. Yeah.
Oh yeah, committees. He sits on the Department of Homeland Security Committee, specifically the subcommittee of transportation, and he's also on the subcommittee on space and technology. He's the ranking member of the oversight committee on that the subcommittee. So those are the two committees that he sits on: just Homeland Security and space and technology. Next question. Thank you so much for that. Those are questions.
It's nice to know that you are specialized in foreign policy.
Yes.
Do you know that there's only 5 countries the U.S. do not have a diplomatic relationship today? That's one is Cuba, Iran, Bhutan, North Korea, and Taiwan. But Taiwan is the only diplomatic country. So I just want to wish the congressman to help and to talk to the State Department and for the U.S. to recognize Taiwan as a country, because U.S. has only 5 countries do not have a diplomatic relationship. Okay? And the second issue I want to ask the congressman to do is to join the Taiwan caucus, because Taiwan's democracy and Taiwan's defense need the support from the U.S. government. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those 2 questions. A little bit of background on myself. I actually worked for NSU's office in Palo Alto for 2.5 years before this job. And the background on the reason why I'm bringing this up is because one of my colleagues, Anthony Lin, he actually went to Taiwan for their congressional tour. So he actually went to Taiwan and was able to share with me some of the reason why I am interested in foreign relations, because my ultimate goal is to become an ambassador. So that's the reason why I'm very interested in foreign relations, being able to rectify what we've done in the past to my goal. My goal is to be able to go back to El Salvador and be able to help out the community there. And so that's the reason why I'm very interested in foreign relations. But thank you so much. I will definitely bring that up to the congressman to be able to join the caucus on Taiwanese. I think it's also very important. Question back there.
Okay, regarding Congressman Swalwell, he also belongs to Homeland Security.
Yes.
Is that one part? This is what I want to bring up as an Asian American. I'm really concerned about, since last October, the Taiwan was granted the visa-free country that people in Taiwan can travel to California without issue any visa. As far as I know, there's almost 2 million of Chinese sneaking to Taiwan and they become Taiwanese. Then what they do is they issue this visa and sneak it to California. I'll give you an example. Right now, there's a H7N9 virus spread around. And those people can pass it, and by pass it, sneak it to California. And sooner or later, we're going to be in trouble here. So this is really concerned about Homeland security issue. Okay? And I wish Congressman Swalwell can get into the issue. And secondly, in last 6 months, I read the news about the China Airline. They find out there's a couple illegal airlines from China. They bypass Taipei as a stepstone and sneak it to United States. So Homeland Security should keep an eye on that. I think AIT already watched about it when they work out with the Taiwan authority. However, due to the local authority, this guy named is Mind Joe, he is a running dog for Chinese. He said he's a Chinese, he's not a Taiwanese. He doesn't care what happened in Taiwan. All he cares is communist China. So Americans should be, kind of watch out because of since communist is not allowed in this country, and we're still treating China as a communist China. So it's a violation of the, what do you call the party law, that if any leader of that place that they support the communist China, we should treat him as an enemy of America. Let's put it this way, we can say that Mind Joe is a terrorist because of his support of communist China. But of course, at this point, Americans try to maintain the balance between the China Straits, so they still use the Kuomintang or Mind Joe government to ruin that place. However, I think as a congressman, I think you really stand up to the people of the United States. You should stand up and really put more effort in this other issue coming up. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Before I go to the next question, to address that a little bit, the congressman is very interested in being able to have a hand on immigration reform, because he understands that immigration reform isn't just it doesn't just affect those who are already in the country. It affects our immigration policy throughout the nation, or throughout the world. And I'm really glad that you brought that up, because I was not aware of that. But I think that he understands that obviously our immigration system is in shambles. We obviously need to be able to revamp it and be able to provide a comprehensive immigration reform and be able to address certain concerns that do deal with these types of cases where people from other countries are smuggling themselves into one country that has a visa waiver program and being able to get into our country. That's obviously one thing that we also, that we need to look into. Another thing that he's trying to look into is being able to make sure that there are certain visas that Congress has a certain number for each country. So let's say, for example, the Philippines. They have a certain number of visas that we can give out to. So I think I'm just going to throw out a number out there. Hypothetically, it could be 20,000. 20,000 for a really big country like the Philippines, or like India, or certain cases all around the world, may not be enough. And what ends up happening is that the Philippines has the highest number of waiting period. So it's a 12-year waiting period for a visa program, whereas other countries have less than 2. And those are more European countries. So what we're trying to do is, with Congressman, he's trying to be able to address certain situations, discussing visas and being able to, I'll certainly bring that up to him and talk to him about, Taiwan and how that issue is becoming a grave concern, where Chinese, nationals are going into Taiwan, being